Here we go, Buggy Live with me, Riccardo, and once again we have a special guest which I'm going to introduce you very, very, very soon, and is for the very first time for me is an honor to have either a player and organizer from Southeast Asia, where I'm broadcasting now since a little while. And without any further ado, I want to introduce you guys. Please welcome here at Buggy Live Cyrus Foo, the president of Malaysia Table Soccer Association, right?
Yes, yes. Thank you. Hi.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Ricardo.
I'm very pleased to meet you because, as I said in the introduction, you are my very first guest from Asia, and quite excited to have you here with us.
I'm sure there will be many more for you.
Okay, but now let's start with you, which
All right, sure.
also been I'm sure a pro player in football. You also an organizer, and you run as a president an important association, which is the Malaysian soccer table soccer. Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
But before dig into this topic, which I'm very interested to know more about it, I would like to know how Asian live. The world of football. So starting from you, let's talk about your first step in this beautiful sport.
I think football in Malaysia, I think it started back I would say in the mid 90s. That's when it first started to pick up. But
Hmm.
I didn't start playing until in the early 2000s. Because I'm originally from a place called Penang, and then when I came to Kuala Lumpur to study, I don't have much friends. So along the way where I was walking to college, there's this cafe there with a foosball table. So I started picking it up a little because I used to saw my friends playing back in Penang, but I think it was stupid. And then I was like, okay, I have time now. I'll give it a try.
Yes,
And
we are.
then
We always start as just as a
yeah,
simple game, and then little by
yeah.
little.
And
Yeah.
then I noticed a lot of players in the football community are actually very friendly. So I started making friends there because I didn't have friends when I first came to KL. So and then we started playing. I started making friends, and then get started to get a lot more serious. And then we started playing in tournaments, and then that's how it started with everything. And then we started running a small football business, and then we started promoting it. We train players on football as well. We run tournaments, and now we travel a lot internationally for football as well.
Okay, so yeah, before talking about the business related to football, which of course I renew my big interest to know about it. What was your big achievement as a pro player? No, I mean,
Mm, Unfortunately, when I was playing a lot, when I was probably at the best of my game, we were all mostly playing in local tournaments in Malaysia. So I was consistently in the top three in tournaments. And then when I started playing in international tournaments, in bigger tournaments, I was no longer that good anymore, unfortunately. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Now let's say your strongest emotion when you play. I don't know, a final. Which one? The best moment? Let's say.
I would say it's the first Malaysia Nationals tournament. I think that was back in 2001. So it was actually the first major tournament I ever participated in. And back then I was actually considered a rookie. So because I just started in less probably a year, and then it was the first tournament, and it was a huge tournament. I ended up winning the team event and also the third place in open doubles, which is with all the seasoned and professional players. So I mean, a rookie being in third place
It's
on the
quite
first,
honorable.
yeah, yeah, in the first tournament. So that was pretty memorable for me.
Yeah, I wish I achieved that. As a player, I was a rookie. I'm still a rookie. So, but okay, back to you. So now let's start to dig more in about this beautiful topic, which is you promoting the football in Asia. How everything started? What made you
Uh,
move?
okay, so I was playing a lot of tournaments when I first started playing back in the early 2000s. So there were another different promoter of football back then as well. So there were a lot of rules and regulations that's being done that or the way how the tournaments were organized that we didn't think it was very well done, that we think we have a better idea. We didn't agree so much with what's being done. So that's how I first started with some friends. We are like, hey, if we disagree with what's being done, maybe we should try doing something on our own. And then we started uh, running our own tournaments with our own different format and rules and regulations. So
What
that's how it
was
first started.
the main problem? What was, I mean, the difference of rules? People didn't know much about the rules. There was not kind of unique rules for everyone.
I wouldn't say the rules of the game stays the same. It's more about the rules of the tournament, like who can play rookie and who can play rookie, and how they determine who is a rookie and who's not. Um, we felt those are very unfairly done, I would I would say. So just for example, if you're in your 30s and you just first discovered football, and you are immediately considered a pro by this organizer because he says if you're below 30, you're a rookie. If you're above 30, you're pro. So if you first discovered football at 31, and there's no way you're going to continue playing football after the first tournament because you're going to get trashed real badly,
So
because you can't
it is based more in your age
age. Yeah,
than the
rather than
merit.
this. Yeah, it's not on the merit, it's not on the skills of what you can actually do. So those are one of the small things that we didn't agree with, and then they have this rule where if you win, for example, if I partner you this year, if we win in the tournament in doubles this year, next year we are no longer allowed to partner again. So there's no defending champions in doubles.
Ah, okay. So you win,
Yeah,
but
yeah, you change
everything is
partner next year.
yeah, everything
Yeah,
is cancelled. Let's
yeah,
say.
and that applies to the top three players. So if you're top three in open doubles, next year you got to look for a new partner, and then the following year you got to look for a partner again. So which we didn't like it. These are some of the things that we didn't like.
Ah, okay. So these things rightfully has been changed now. They have been
Yeah,
changed.
yeah, they have been changed now.
So how does it works actually now? Your association. Do you also incorporate other association, for example, the Indian one, or I don't know, Malay, Taiwan, or Chinese, or is
Okay,
only for Malaysia so far?
okay. There's something new that we first started. It's called ATSA. What it stands for is Asia Table Soccer Alliance. So it's still in the very beginning stage. It's not anything official or on the books yet, but it's something we're looking at. So what we're doing is we're trying to bring together all the active nations around Asia to have to better organize our tournament dates, how we could support each other in terms of running a tournament, or because some smaller nations, or if you're new to the tournament scene, it could be very difficult to organize an international tournament. So you may need some help.
Okay,
So
are you with ITSF as well?
yes, we're with ITSF as well.
That's, I mean, another big achievement. So
Yeah.
what kind of table do you use for events that you make in Malaysia?
When Malaysia first started, when football first started in Malaysia, it was Tornado. Right now we almost play only on Fireball right now. Yeah.
I know Fireball, yeah, which is quite similar to Tornado, I guess. I don't know, maybe
Um,
look like
I
more
I think
fragile.
it's a little bit in between an European and American table. It's the easiest table to adapt if you're used to playing Tornado. It's the easiest table to adapt compared to like Bonzini and Galando. It's difficult for us.
I never had the chance to play this table. Only once here in Thailand, I found Tornado, which for us, you know, being Italian, it looks a bit heavy. Let's say it. you know?
Yeah, the tornado is actually very heavy, yes.
Yeah, but it has been defined as possibly the best table to play in the ITSF style. So no lucky shot allowed. Let's say. What do you think? Which is your favorite tables? Which are?
Um, well, because of sentimental value, I started on tornado, so I always love tornado. But realistically speaking, right now, I think Fireball is actually a very good table because what I notice is Fireball, it's a lot easier for a new player to pick up the game and learn compared to Tornado. So Fireball is a little bit more forgiving. It's easier to learn. It's easier to master. It's easier to get you addicted and hooked compared to Tornado.
That's true, but also I managed, let's say, to do some tricks in Tornado, which are very used in our style. You know, same like the slingshot. I mean, you need more practice probably in Tornado.
Yes. And it's a lot easier, some of these shots to be done on Fireball. It's just a lot easier to play.
Yeah. Which is your favorite shot? Now I just leave a little bit. I go aside of the main topic.
Yeah, sure. Right now, at this moment, I don't practice football anymore. I don't really practice it. I don't play as much as I used to. So what I do now is more of a freestyle kind of play where I try to do a little bit of everything. I like to keep it fun because sticking to one shot, I think is boring for me. I don't have the patience. But when I used to play competitively, I do pull shot.
Yeah, yeah. One of the most used. It seems now is more, let's say,
Snake shot
fashion. Yeah, than
now.
the snake shot. Yeah, they
Yeah.
prefer more the pull shot. At
Yeah.
least when I talk with American friends.
Yes.
Okay, so okay, let's talk. Let's go back on the topic. How do you organize tournament, and which is your next one, which I know
Okay.
is gonna be soon.
The next tournament we have would be in July. The next international tournament, it's going to be in July. So the last time we had one was 2 years ago. So we kind of organize once every 2 years now.
And how many football table there will be available? And another good thing is how to get in touch with you. I don't know, for subscription to
All right.
participate in this tournament.
So in this tournament, we should have at least a minimum of 20 tables, and we'll be playing on Fireball. So how to keep in touch and how to keep updated is if you go on Facebook, you can follow like our page on Football Community Malaysia. So all our tournaments, details, information, everything will be updated there. Even our even our weekly games, if we have DYP or anything, it will also be updated on that page as well. That's the best place to follow our news.
Okay, so whoever is listening now, go to this
Football Community Malaysia.
football community Malaysia, so can subscriber can stay update about tournament and what happening in Southeast Asia in Malaysia about football. Okay, so yes, so far so good. We can also maybe move to, let's talk about the future. What is your aiming for the future? Your goal as as the president of this association that is growing, as far as I know, very faster.
Um, for us, we are hoping we're going to try to go towards the promotional to the youth. So we're going to try to move towards that route and try to promote it to the youth players because back then we used to promote it a lot towards the adults. So we think it's better to promote it to the youth nowadays. That's the direction that we want to go because the youth are all now just playing mobile games. So we hope I think this is a much better sport and interaction.
No, let's say this is a sport. I have nothing
Yeah,
against video games because I was brought up in the 80s with the famous
arcade.
arcade.
Yeah,
So I do love them, but I must recognize that football is a real sport.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and many countries has recognized that as a sport as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, video games or esports is killing football as well. I just watched a documentary of footballers a couple of days ago, and
Great
basically
movie.
yeah, great movie, and they basically talk about how video games killed football in America in the 80s.
Yeah, in the country where the football was really growing so good and could make some players also have a living out of the
Yeah,
football.
you could win a Porsche back then.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. I saw also some old posters, flyers about the
Yeah,
prize.
yeah,
The But maybe we also, no, as I said sometimes in previous interview, we try to make it, grow bigger again. We make it
yes,
great again.
we're doing our best, and hopefully we'll get there one day. And the other way to try to achieve this is right now among some of the Asia promoters, we work very closely together with our tournaments and promotions. So that also helps because you're no longer doing it on yourself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I noticed that this is. I always say that is a kind of big family, the football.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
if we help each other, I'm sure one day we make also big the sport to the crowd, to the big crowd.
Yes.
So this is what we all aiming. Okay, so Cyrus, I'm really pleased to have you here, to have had you here, and to let us know what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Do you have any other maybe thoughts, something you want to tell maybe before we end up?
Yeah, I think in football in Asia, it's has got a good future and potential, but not much people knows about it. There's not a lot of awareness. So hopefully, with this interview, we could get more European or maybe even American players to actually come by for one of our tournaments. If it's not Malaysia, it could be China, it could be Taiwan. We all have huge tournaments in these places. I'm involved in some of those tournaments as well, so I know they are great tournaments. It's a great place to visit, and yeah, and it's not that expensive of a city to visit as well in Asia.
Yeah, yeah, especially Southeast Asia. So if they maybe
Yes,
have
yeah,
the chance to come either in
yeah, it's
Thailand, in 1 hour you can be in Kuala Lumpur.
yes,
It's
yes,
not that far. So I also renew the invitation to watch your page on Facebook, and we will share this interview to as many football groups as we can, with the hope that they
yeah,
will understand that also in Asia is very popular. This sport is becoming very popular.
yeah, yeah.
Not so much yet here, but we
There's actually a lot of tournaments. There's a lot
yeah.
of tournaments in Asia. Maybe not this year because of the virus outbreak, but usually we have a lot of tournaments in Asia.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know another guy which I'm going to greet you now, which is very active, is Vien Long. He's doing a lot
Vietnam.
for Vietnam. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
I didn't have the chance. I hope soon to talk also with Ashok Heshi
From
from
India.
India, yeah,
Yep.
which I know also is doing a great job for Asia and Nepal with his
Yeah.
association. Is always traveling, always busy, like you are. I had just the luck to pick you this time because I know you're quite busy.
Yeah, it's my honor. No, I mean, we always make time for football.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is what we talk about. This is what we want other people to understand. And of course, I wish to have you here again in another episode. Maybe you can
Yeah,
talk.
sure.
You can talk, yeah, to us about your some news, some good news.
Yep, yep, sure. I look forward to it.
Yeah, yeah, me too. So we are at the end now for the final greetings. Thank you so much, Cyrus, for being with us.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
And
Have fun.
yes, we will see you soon again, and keep up the good job, the good work you're doing.
Thank you
So
very much.
from Thailand and Malaysia, we say bye to all our listeners. This was Buggy Live with me, Ricardo, Cyrus, and everyone, all the staff of Buggy Live. So far so good. See you next time.
All right,
Bye
see you.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.